Too slick. Too slick, Max. It's too slick for this one, honestly, right? We see now 1-0 Holloway. Come on, Max finishing on the body. How was that?
Yeah, but that was slick, right?
Spurt, Max.
Oh!
Hey! 2-0.
2-0. We don't want it.
No, nothing of him. They will do the game. They will do the game.
Have it,
Holloway still moving well.
Very confident Max is going to win this fight.
Yeah.
No! No!
He knocked out Max.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow. He's
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fighting with Friends, the undisputed African fighting podcast champion of the world. Speaking of champions, ladies and gentlemen, I have with me today the reigning, defending, undisputed vegan champion of the world. That is, of course, Brother Gaia. What's happening, Brother Gaia?
I wish I was a bit more energetic, to be honest, but I'm good, bro. Better days, but I'm feeling good, thanks.
Away. Speaking of feeling good, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today the winner of the CPS Contender Series. Only professional record now, 8-0, making his way to a title shot. It's Nazim, aka Babu.
Yes, sir.
What
is
boys?
boys?
OG, boys, welcome back. So yeah, boys, what can we say? It's UFC 308, and we are recapping the card. Like BG said, we have seen better days. But as the professionals that we are going to start at the top of the card. Well, like I said, we did see Ilia Topuria. Yeah, he did the thing against Max Holloway, put him out. You got to give the man his flowers now. So, BG, I know this was a tough one for you to take. Give us your thoughts, bro.
Yeah. Yo, where do I begin? It's been a tough morning. I'm not gonna lie. Waking up and just like feeling so deflated, and I just felt like doing absolutely nothing. Even just to get myself up to record this recap was like, well, what do I even say, dude? What do I even say? But I have to keep it. 50. I have to keep it 100. I mean, like you say, keep Ilia his flowers. He did exactly what he needed to do. I thought up until that point he was actually on the back foot in the fight. Max was doing pretty much okay, especially with the stabbing oblique kicks. That was making Ilia really double check how he needed to enter into that void space and get into the close range where he was going to do his best work. But the game plan was clear as day from Ilia, and that was what we were saying was cutting off the cage, putting Max into a position where he can't really go left or right, and that's exactly what he did. And he got it right. I did feel like it was a shot in the dark kind of situation where I feel like Ilia, if he didn't go in that moment, it would have been a long night for him because he was 2 rounds down, and Max was starting to get a bit more loose. He's starting to almost wake up a little bit better. But it's almost a carbon copy of the Volkanovski fight. The same things that Max said, Volk said after the fight as well. I was like, I felt like I was winning. I felt like I was perfectly fine. The camp was 100%. And next thing you know, I'm looking up at the guy and I'm on the floor. And that's something we have to give, like you say, give props to Ilia for doing that. And he took out the 2 best featherweights in the UFC over the last, I would say, 7 to 10 years almost. And now I would love to see him, have a fantastic title reign. As for Max, you can't take away anything from the guy. Like, he did exactly what he wanted to do. He was starting to open up as the fight was going on, and it's hard to pinpoint what he did exactly wrong that made him lost the fight. It's just the power differential was just so massive, and that was what we were talking about in the preview. And it was on full display in this fight because, like I said, Max was winning every avenue of the fight, bar the takedown that he gave up at the end of that first round. Other than that, he was winning every minute, every second, every avenue the fight was moving. He was ahead of it, and then Ilia just thought, you know what, I'm gonna hunt you down and take you, and then that's exactly what he did, and landed cleanly on Max. And yeah, flawless performance, I would say, because he had to go. Ilia Topuria had to is the delay that bad? Heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Nah, we lost you for a second there.
Oh,
What did you guys hear last?
Ilia Topuria was the last thing you
Okay.
said. But yeah,
No,
we
if he's
basically
that
that he hunted him down, but he's that good. Yeah, that was the last thing we heard.
Okay. Well, yeah, I suppose it's probably going to turn out like that also in the recording where guys are not going to hear what I said there. But I just think in a nutshell, we have to give Ilia the flowers for the fact that he was able to come through losing 2 rounds, especially when we all thought that Max was the one that was going to open up at that point and really like stretch the distance. Ilia was like, nope, I'm going to end the fight right here. We're not going to go the 5 rounds. And yeah, it's like you said, AD, when Ilia walked in on the fight night, on the day of the fight, and we saw the footage of him walking in, and how loose he looked in the walkout, and when they were announcing his name before the fight started, he looked so relaxed, and that's like what we've seen literally since the history of the UFC. Since we've been watching it, whenever we watch title fights, whether it's a challenger or the champion, the fighter that looks the most chilled, like there's like nothing in the world is bothering them right now, is often the guy who wins the fight or the woman that wins the fight, the one that's so relaxed. And Ilia looked like nothing could bother him, nothing. He was singing while they were announcing his name. So it's like nothing was going to take him off what was determined in his head already. Like, I'm going to go out and knock this fucker, and that's exactly what he said he was going to do. And I don't think anyone on the face of the earth right now can deny Ilia Topuria.
Nicely done, VG. And of course, we do appreciate your insights at this difficult time. But just
like
to
a
kind of, expand a little bit on that, BG, from where you were sitting, you said it was 2 rounds up. I did catch a bit of reaction this morning, and Ariel Hawani tends to think that it was 1-1. He said the argument could have made that Topuria was 2 up going into the 3rd round. It was a very so I want to go to Babu and just kind of get another perspective here, Babu. From you, what did you see? How was it going leading up to the knockout?
I felt like Max was doing the early work, and I felt like Max was getting the damage. He was landing the better shots. He was, and that jab of his that was leaving like a significant mark there on Ilia's face. And I felt like Ilia was, like PG said, on the back foot. I felt like he was in there and he was comfortable and he was in the pressures of things. So I didn't feel like Max was ever in trouble. And then in that 3rd round, even like leading up to the knockdown, I felt like Ilia landed like 2 body shots that like Max like reacted to, and that was very uncharacteristic of him. And then even like leading up to the sequence where he does knock him down, he's against the cage, Ilia lands like a devastating shot into his ribs or like to the liver, and then Max like walks around the cage where Ilia then corners him and then puts him down. But I just felt like Ilia was almost similar to Alex Pereira in his fight, where they were so comfortable in that space where they let the opponent feel like, oh, you think you're winning this fight, but the power that they possess is like just the game changer, basically. And yeah, I think even on that Ariel Wani quote, I felt like it was maybe 1-1 because Topuria landed that takedown in the first, but I didn't have Topuria
but that was at the end
because of the volume.
Yeah.
I just think like Max's volume like of output on strikes was like more like the thing that stood out for me the most in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I do agree with what you said, BG. I mean, I said it to you last night. It looked like it was going to be a classic Max performance. Same way he did against Gaethje. He just tends to get stronger as the rounds go by, and it looked like he was going to start pulling away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got caught, and yeah, shout out to
I will
Topuria. You can't deny the man anymore, like you said.
I
He is
will
that
say
good.
this. Yeah, no, you have to give it to him, dude. Why I'm saying is you can't deny the guy is because he came back from a losing position. And why I was saying Max was winning that fight, like Babu was saying, the takedown came at the end of that first round. But up until that point, Max was deep kicking him a lot, throwing some low kicks. The calf kicks from Ilia Topuria was trying to slow down Max, which really did work. But Max was still out volleying him in that first round. And like I said, when Max started introducing the oblique kicks, he was doing it so much that every time Ilia would step in to come and close the void, Max either jabbed him or oblique kicked him, which basically stopped him from even coming close. And it was working a lot in that fight. And that's why I felt that Ilia pushed so much pressure in that third round so heavily because it's like, listen, Max is starting to actually, you could feel Max was starting to leave it up a little bit more and slowly. But the one thing I will point out about Max Holloway in this fight, it was the first time I've ever seen Max look that tense. He wasn't relaxed. He looked very gaunt in the face. Shoulders were quite high. He wasn't, that loosey-goosey thing where he's just like nodding at you and he's walking forward and his shoulders are really chilled. His shoulders were very tense. And I was like, I've never seen Max look this stiff before in a fight. And I think it could loosely touch based on what AD was saying last night when we were watching the fight was maybe it is actually best for Max to have stayed at 155 and not come back to 145 in the space of 3.5 months. It was a very quick thing. No excuses, but it's something I did notice because I watched every single Max fight. He's never looked that tense before in any of his fights. Even when he was overweight, when he fought Dustin Poirier the second time, he never looked that tense before. So that's something to look at. Which means what I'm trying to say is we might not see Max Holloway still at 145, even though he had said, I will come back, I want the rematch. I don't know if we will see him at 145 again.
I think he has said in the presser that he's wanting to go to 55 now. Sorry, Babu.
I was gonna say, do we take Ilia's wins with a pinch of salt? Because Volkanovski also just came to, back down to 135, and now Max also same thing, and both of them got KO'd.
Yeah.
Do we look at that like?
Yes.
Is that a factor?
I don't think you can deny that. I don't know if you can just say brush over that theory because it's facts that had happened. Volkanovski came out of a knockout, jumped back very quickly, 3 months, jumped back into a fight. Max Blaze was looking the most superior he ever looked in his life at 155, and then literally within the space of 3.5 months goes back down and cuts all that muscle off. What will have an effect, and every single professional pundit or former fighter had said that exact words. They were like, I wonder if that weight cut's going to catch up to Max in this fight. And I did partially look that way, but that doesn't throw any shade on what Ilia did, dude, because that was
not at all.
He's dangerous. He's devastating. Eddie was saying he's devastating. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. No one can take it away from him. No one.
For sure. So yeah, like we said, he's kind of expressed his intention to go to 155. So if that does happen, Babu, what do you want to see next for Max Holloway at 55?
Something fun. I know Dan Hooker is out there looking for the Conor McGregor thing, and I think like maybe Faziev. Give me Faziev.
But as number one,
I just want to see my guy fight, bro.
Faziev can fight. Maybe Justin Gaethje again.
Give me my guy.
BG, what are your thoughts here?
In terms of the lightweight rankings, Max Holloway is ranked number 5 right there. I would be a massive fight to see him fight against Dan Hooker, but I think Dan Hooker is probably going to get Moicano. I would love to see Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the BMF title. Both guys diamond fight. Love to see that. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now we got
cut
you. We
out
got
again.
you in there.
We
Yeah,
heard you.
we
The
got you at
diamond.
Oh.
the end there. Yeah, I like
Dustin
that fight.
Poirier, Max Holloway.
I
BMF
like that
retirement
fight.
fight. No matter who wins, both fighters retire on that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
matter
think
who
that's
wins.
what we was talking about last night, right?
Yeah. Max goes up to 155. Maybe goes for a title run. I love Max, but I think Charles Oliveira might be a difficult fight for him. Arman Sarukin might be a difficult fight for Max. Even Makhachev will be a very difficult fight for Max. Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, Michael Chandler. Max can beat all of them. Stylistically, he can beat all of them. But I think Charles Oliveira, Sarukin, and Makhachev, stylistically, was a nightmare for Max Holloway.
Final thoughts, Baba, on this one?
If Max really want to, I like welterweight looking. I like the way welterweight looks in terms of fighters. I think like stylistically, there's a lot of fighters that maybe suits him way better than at lightweight.
They're big
Because
dudes, though.
like BG said, like that top 3 is not a good matchup for him. But I think like if he goes up to welterweight, there's a lot of strikers there, not too many grapplers. Everybody's keen for a fight. If you can put on the weight, I would like to see it.
I think welterweight might be a bit of a stretch. Lightweight for sure.
He's big. He's big.
So.
Max is a big dude, but he isn't when he's fight ready. He's not that massive. You know what I mean? He's not that filled out. And I think lightweight he filled out perfectly. Like he matched up everyone else in that lightweight division in terms of size and strength. It just and it doesn't look like he struggles to make that weight.
Yeah, I think
comparison to making 145.
But okay, boys, let's keep it moving. We do have a few other fights that we do need to get to.
Bobby Knox, bro. Bobby Knox. Let's go, Bobby Knox. Nothing, Bobby. Nothing, Bobby. You're training your whole...
Bruh.
How long for this, man? It's fine. He's gonna gas himself out.
He's gonna turn him. He's gonna turn him.
Come on, Bobby Knox, man. Come on, man.
What did that? That looked so quick and it wasn't even knocked in.
I saw that.
What are you going to say about him now? What are you going to say?
And of course, the other
sir.
quite disappointing result of the evening where we saw Khamzat Chimaev destroy Robert Whittaker's jaw, eventually beating him by first round submission. And this was violent, man. This was scary stuff. And yeah, so Baba, from your side, bro, what can you tell us here?
The Wolf is something else, huh? He comes out that first 2 minutes of a fight. You best get ready in the back, bro. Get your adrenaline pumping because he comes out like a bat, bro.
Yeah.
Like I thought, like Robert Whittaker looked ready walking out. He looked intense. He looked like he was ready for the fight. But Chimaev, once he gets a hold of you, good God, that man knows how to ragdoll somebody. And yeah, it was violent. It was violent. And Whittaker just looked like he was really overwhelmed in every sense. Like Chimaev just looks like he has his game plan. There's no plan B. He just goes 100% from this. As soon as that ball hits, he's in. And it's something to watch because, jeez, Joe, but Joe is gone.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Violent, bro. Violent stuff. BG?
Yeah, I mean, what would be a nice synonym for violent to describe this fight? Because it was more violent is an understatement, honestly. Because what he did wasn't just dislocating the man's jaw by face cranking him. The elbow that for me, the elbow was actually where it all started, and the way the elbow was thrown, the specific way that he used it, and the technique, I was like, I think Khamzat knew exactly what he was doing with that elbow. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to throw an elbow in ground and pound positions because it may or may not cut you, it may or may not put you out. It was almost thrown with that exact intention to, I'm going to knock this jaw, because of the way it was landing and the trajectory and the way it was coming. It was like, oh, okay. Because immediately when the elbow landed, Robert Whittaker grabbed his face like this. Immediately. The rest was history. But before that had happened, we all know that Khamzat comes at the competitor. He's super quick. He wants to end the fight very fast. Whittaker wasn't doing too bad in before he got taken down. He threw 2 leg kicks that were really hard because Khamzat's leg lifted when he kicked him with it. And I was like, okay. He didn't check both of those kicks. I thought, okay, Whittaker's gonna, ease him up a little bit and maybe even survive the takedowns like we thought in that first 2 rounds. But the mauling and the strength and the technique that Khamzat used, because Whittaker it's not like Whittaker doesn't know how to get up. He did everything by the book, broke the wrists, tried to stand up, but pulled back down. But Khamzat was just like 2 or 3 steps ahead every time for the next dominant position. And Whittaker just couldn't get away from it. And what does that mean now for Khamzat Chimaev? Does it mean he fights for the title next? Because with that kind of performance, he's obviously got the fans on their feet. He's going to get the world talking about it because it was in devastating fashion. I hate to say it, but I think Strickland's not going to get the title shot now.
I mean, I don't think either of them really deserve it for me, bro. But like you said, you can't deny that, bro. That's a Chimaev with a statement like that against an opponent like that. It's difficult to deny, but at the same time, bro, it's like the man's fought now once in how long, bro? You know what I mean? Like, he's just coming straight back, and you're gonna give him a title shot. It doesn't make sense to me, personally.
Yeah.
Babu,
I don't agree with it either. But you know how the UFC is. Just based on how the fight played out and the fight that who comes at beaten. You know what I mean? You can kind of see how the media will use this and like milk it to make it really build up something massive. People love to tune in. With the Khamzat, he had a very terrible last 2 years in terms of his health, but yet people still tune in for him. You know, people still tune in for his madness.
He moves the needle, but he's definitely he's got a pull with the audiences. So yeah, I mean, man's a superstar, bro. Man's a superstar. Babu, from your perspective, bro.
Babu's face.
I don't think he deserves the title shot. What's he fought like 2 middleweights? Now he's title challenger. If you look at the top 5, I would like to see him crack there besides now Whittaker. Look at the other top 6, I guess. I would like to see you go against somebody else. Let's see, like, if you can replicate that performance. If you do, then I'm keen to see you go against like Dricus and then see like how Dricus matches up. I think Dricus matches up against him perfectly because Dricus has like the pup strength there, Sinjay. He eats his pup every day. Chimaev don't know about that, Sinjay. He don't look as strong. I mean, they both have like this, like, I think Dricus has the power. As soon as he hits you, you feel that. And then Chimaev, like, as soon as he gets a hold of you, like, you feel that power. So it would be cool to see. And Dricus does have like a decent ground game. Just through knowing like his camp here in South Africa and knowing his coaches and things like that. So I would like to see like Chimaev get one more middleweight and then fight for the title. But if the UFC does wanna put a rocket on his back, I do think I would like to see him fight outside of the UAE and then see like how he does, because currently everything is in his advantage.
Yeah, apparently he can't fight outside of the UAE.
Yeah, so how's he going to be the title? How's he going to be the champ?
Countries? Yeah, I don't know. It's because that's why we haven't seen him fight in different regions. I remember they said it last night as well. Is they having difficulty getting him legally allowed to fight in other countries. That's so strange, bro. I would like to see him fight Caio Baralho next.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
I think Khamzat will beat Nasruddin Imavov. He might even beat Easy or so. But I definitely think that Caio Baralho might game plan him.
Yeah, okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments what you think. Is it right that Khamzat Chimaev gets a title shot, or should he fight another middleweight? just before we keep it moving, boys, next move for Robert Whittaker, PG.
33 years
Rest up,
old.
Papa.
I think probably his next fight's most likely going to be Nasruddin Imavov. Probably. Yeah, to be quite honest. He's probably going to take a chill call. Eh?
I say
say
take a year off, come back like late next year. Fight late next year.
The thing with that,
See where the
that is maybe also I would think about, but I do think that the best matchmaking fight for Whittaker and for the UFC would be someone like Nasruddin Imavov because he's on the come up. It would make the most sense for Nasruddin Imavov and for Whittaker to sort of see where he is, because if he loses again to another sort of up and coming or top 5 contender, in the middleweight, then it's like, can you still go fight Trickers again? Because now you went back-to-back losses against 2 guys. One of them weren't even in the top 5. And obviously again Nasruddin Imavov. And it would make the most sense because next he's probably gonna fight Nasruddin next.
Nicely done, BG. Babu, final word on this one, please, bro.
nah, just exciting to see what happens next from both fighters' side, and if who fights first, I guess. Is it Whittaker or is it Khamzat? Because they both gonna be out for a while, I'm guessing.
I mean, likely Khamzat.
That makes a very good point, Babu.
Didn't look like
his choice,
yeah, that's gonna take. So he's gonna need some time off after that. I think that was brutal. That was brutal, bro. But okay, boys, let's keep it moving. And here we saw the biggest dog on the card, Alexander Rakic. He lost to Muhammad Ankalaev by unanimous decision. It's fun laughing.
I love it.
There's a massive delay here, bro. But anyway, BG, give us your thoughts on this one, bro.
Sorry about that. I think it just might be the weather that's affecting it right now, the internet. I gotta be honest with this fight. I'm a little disappointed in Rakic. I expected him to be a bit more creative, other than just throwing a straight 1-2 or a straight jab and a roundhouse kick. And that was it. He only used those 3 tools. He didn't really keep to the body, outside switch left kick to the calf. You're the better stand-up striker, or you're the more decorated one. I would like to have seen him use a lot more tools than just the ones that were trying to take Magomedov's head off. Because Magomedov is really a very good defensive striker as well as he is an offensive striker. So I was surprised at Rakic's performances, but I wasn't surprised at Magomed Ankalaev's performance. That's what we get from him. He's a very competent striker. I thought he was actually cleaner in terms of landing the strikes over Rakic. Even though Rakic was throwing heavy bombs, but a lot of it wasn't really actually landing. And over the course of the 3 rounds, I think it was a fair decision. Actually, one of the very correct decisions on the fight card. It was easy to notice. 3 rounds to 0 for sure for Magomed Ankalaev. I don't know if the performance was breathtaking enough to make a statement where, like, I can go out there and make Alex Pereira have the most worst night of his life. I don't know if that's the case. But in terms of this particular fight, I think he did enough to mitigate the dangers that Alexander Rakic was possessing and showcasing, especially with that roundhouse kick. Because it was heavy roundhouse kicks, dude. Anyone else, that takes that kind of roundhouse kick, it's like, you probably don't want to block it. You probably want to kind of avoid it. And Ankalaev was just blocking it and then walked through straight left, have it. And Rakic had nothing going after the first round, pretty much. He looked like he got tired. It looked like he was just trying to survive. Magomed did start landing a lot cleaner, especially after that second round, or during that second round going into 30, landed a lot more cleaner on Rakic. He was throwing some calf kicks. And again, it was the correct decision and a good performance from Magomedov.
Give thanks, BG. Babu, so does Ankalaev, has he earned his title shot now for you, or what's the situation here, bro?
That just felt like like how boxers have mandatory fights. That felt like a mandatory fight. Yeah, it wasn't like what a fight. But I think, like, I would like to see Ankalaev. What's that guy's name? that he drew with. He has a
Vlahovic.
Jan. Yeah, I would like to see run that back, I guess, because that performance didn't say like, oh, I'm deserving of a title fight, in my
Not
opinion.
really. Yeah.
And then yeah, I just think like if you're gonna stand like that, if the fight plays out the same way, if that's his game plan to go against Pereira, GG's. That left hook is something of the gods, bro.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see something like, I think, give him Jan Blachowicz. I would see that again. And then if he wins that, I guess it's undeniable at that point. But yeah, I don't think he's title ready yet.
I mean, this was arguably. I mean, people were saying into the lead up to this fight was arguably unnecessary and one too many. Like he's earned his title shot was the narrative coming into this fight. So BG for you.
I can understand
What
it,
is-
80, because of the win streak it is on right now. I think it's quite a big number. I think he's in double digits, if I'm not mistaken. So I can understand why they're saying he's like, he has to get the fight now, get the title shot. But like the performances like that make me worry. I would say give him Yuri Prohaska. Go with Prohaska next and see if you can get past that man. If you can get past Prohaska, then I say for sure go to Alex. Because I mean, it just wasn't enough, and Prohaska beat Rakic also in a more devastating fashion. So I would love to see maybe Prohaska and Ankalaev fight. And if Ankalaev can beat Prohaska, by all means, fight Pereira. Suma in Yas Island again, or in Russia. Pereira can go to your hometown. If it's so undeniable, let's go to your hometown and go fight there. Because with that kind of performance, he won, and he was trying to take Rakic's lights out, but he just couldn't. And it wasn't that much of a statement win. Look we just spoke about Khamzat Chimaev, wasn't even ranked in the top 10 of the middleweight division, and now we're talking about title shots potentially. You know what I mean? Because the performance was that devastating, and against someone who was one of 3 middleweight champions over the last 10 years.
Yeah. So then, what does the champion just wait for the winner of Prohaska Ankalaev for you, BG?
Pereira can afford to. I mean, he fought 4 fights this year or 3 fights this year. In such quick concession, I would like to think that he will take a break at least, but he's not that kind of dude because of his age.
That's what I'm
And I
saying,
think,
yeah.
and I think that Robert Whittaker is probably telling him in his corner, checker, you're on 35, 36 years old. You don't have that much time. You probably got another 2 years in the UFC. Go out there, smash everyone, retire. But we take on Magamedov Ankalaev, beat him. Go up, take on Tam Aspinall, beat him. Then fight Druckers. If you beat Druckers, say that's the end of your run. You finished. I beat all the champions.
Yeah, for sure. So just to confirm, the Ankalaev is on an 11-fight streak. So I mean, really with a streak like that, it's very difficult to deny the man a title shot for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Again, the performance last night wasn't anything special at all. But yeah, with the man's getting the job done, bruh. So for me, I think give the man a title shot. And yeah,
Can't deny it.
everybody else is
They
tried
lost.
against Pereira. Give him
They
a
all
chance,
lost,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So boys, any final thoughts on this one before we skate?
No, not from me.
All right, so let's keep it moving then, boys. And then we saw featherweight bout where our boy Danish, aka Dan Ige, unfortunately losing to Lerone Murphy by unanimous decision here. So yeah, Babu, we were hoping for a Danish KO for the parlay and the parlay boys. Unfortunately didn't come. But how did you see this one playing out, bro?
Bro, they had this man, round 1. This man was on the ropes, bro.
Yeah.
Just put him away, dog.
Yeah.
Just put him out of his misery. Don't play with your food. Because, as you can see, this is what happens. That round 1, I thought, we in here. We in. AD, we up, bro. This man puts it. Keeps going. And it looks like Murphy grew in the fight. He just kept growing,
Yeah.
kept growing, kept growing. And then by like the third round, I would say like, you know what? He did enough to get the decision, because Iga should have put him away. And after that, Fury just thought like, you are to did you gas? Like it looks like you gassed,
Mm,
and it's
mm.
like you why, like I've seen you put away people. Like why couldn't you put this man away?
Very good point, Babu.
Yeah.
It was very strange to see how quickly he did gas out, because
Yeah.
we saw him take a fight on 3 hours notice against Diego Lopez, and arguably he was getting stronger as the rounds were going through.
Mm,
And in this fight, after the first round, like Babu said, when he didn't put him away, it's almost like
mm.
he was demoralized. I was absolutely losing my shit when he sat him down. I was
Yeah.
hoping for the finish, of course.
Yeah.
But BG, what can you tell us here, bro?
Yeah, I would bring that down to maybe an adrenaline dump from Dinesh. Like he thought he was gonna go out there and then just flash knockout. And the rankings by a big number, but it didn't turn out that way. I'm gonna say we have to give props to Lerone Murphy for being undefeated, and it showed why. Because he got knocked out and he got knocked down badly. Like Dinesh really hit him. Danny hit him really hard. But he stood up and he established his jab, he established his calf kick, he established the tip kicks. He started going into clinch position, started getting takedowns, and looked like he recovered a lot quicker than Danny Ige in terms of like getting that stamina back. And then he started pushing the pace forward. And I like his style. I'm a big fan of Lerone's style. I think if Leon Edwards had wrestling, he would look a lot like Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy is a smaller version of Edwards, because he can strike not as elite as striking as Edwards, but he strikes really well, good enough to actually stand with some of the guys in the featherweight division, I think. And he also has the ability to wrestle. So I would like to see him get tested against someone a bit more intense than Ige. I would say maybe give him to Aljamain Sterling next. That would be quite interesting to watch. Because I'm looking at Giga Chikadze, that will be a stand. I think Aljamain Sterling will be a good threat, because he can probably out wrestle any of the guys in this featherweight division. So I would like to see Lerone Murphy up against an intense wrestler, someone like Aljamain Sterling or Mavzar Evloev, but he's obviously way too high up the rankings right now. So I would say Aljamain Sterling.
I like that. I do like that challenge for him. Babu, from your side, bro?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of his just because like he gets the decision win. I like seeing finishes, bro. And this one is just living on a prayer, making it through. So if you can put away somebody, then I'm for it, bro. I'm for it. Same thing with Ankalaev. You just grind people out. If you're gonna take somebody down, go with the finish. I'm there for it. But if you just here for the decision, I guess go on your 12-fight win streak. You get it.
I will say this now. It's tough to put Danny Ige out. It's very rare that I've ever seen Danny Ige rocked off like just completely knocked out. I'm with you, Babu, but I'm also on the camp of like if it's a fantastic decision fight where also putting on a masterclass performance of striking and wrestling, and then I'm not against the person winning by decision. And what I liked about what Lerone did in this fight was coming back, bro. Coming back from a massive knockdown like that, and then out jabbing, out striking, out low kicking, out wrestling Danny Ige. Like we have to give props to that, because it's not an easy task to do. You know what I mean? And yes, he didn't get. I would love to have seen him get the knockout. Or seen Danny Ige get the knockout, obviously, because we also had money on that. But we also can't take away the props from a fighter when they have to come back from some adversity like that. You know what I mean?
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
You had to fight back, and he fought back, bro.
It was definitely a display of art from the young man.
Yeah,
but I do get where Babu's coming from. It's not the most entertaining, for someone who as bloodthirsty as Babu. Not really fitting the bill there. But okay, Jeds, any final thoughts on this one?
Where does Danny Ige go next? Does he also go to 155?
Yeah,
Does he stay in this division?
it's a tough one. What are
Do
your
you
thoughts,
know?
PG?
Keep tracking.
I think just keep going at it. Don't lead the division. I think he'll struggle in the 155. I think if he stays in this division, there's still a path for him to go somewhere in the division. He can still make a way to maybe crack top 10 maybe. You know, because he is a fan favorite, so he will get some good fights. They will prioritize him for good fights, but I don't know if he can beat people like Brian Ortega, Ibloev, Rodriguez, Diego Lopez. You know, the top echelon of the division. I think he might struggle there. So. But stay in the division though. Maybe even consider going down. But he struggles at weight cut because he actually walks around quite heavy. He's a full dude. So maybe featherweight is the weight he must just stick to.
We could beat Neil Magny, CJ, the gatekeeper, bro.
What?
He could be the
Neil
gatekeeper.
Magny's way too big, bruh.
No, I'm
he
saying
could be the Neil Magny of the day. Yeah.
He could just be the gatekeeper. Like,
Yes,
if you
I
think
agree.
people are good enough, put him against Dan Ige. Let's see.
Yeah, that might just be it, I think. Okay, boys, it's time to talk about the bullet. So let's talk about the bullet. And this was, of course, Shara Magamedov in the middleweight division, beating Armin Petrosyan by spectacular second round spinning back elbow.
Movie like stuff.
Absolutely unheard of. So yeah, I mean, if there was so much pressure on this guy to deliver an amazing performance, he's been very underwhelming up until now. And finally, that happened for him. The stars aligned, and just, I mean, it's what now, October, and that could be the knockout of the year. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Always,
Maybe not
always
knockout of the year, but Max over Justin Gaethje, but that was a sick knockout.
Yeah, I just
it's
difficult.
that was like
It's difficult. Like
I'll give Shadow. Yeah, but doesn't take away his knockout over Gaethje. I will give Shadow style points. I'll give him style points for the knockout, but I wouldn't say it was knockout of the year. The magnitude wasn't that high. It was they're not even ranked fighters, both of them. You know what I mean? So style points wise, that's phenomenal to watch. It was almost like especially because he lost the first round and he needed to actually come into the fight. He needed to fight back, and he did. And then he got that spinning double back fist. Sick. I don't know if he can land that same spinning back fist again on a more polished fighter that'll maybe swarm him and take him down and don't give him time of day. Because this was a full-on kickboxing fight. They could have done the same fight if they fought in the one championship. It would have been exactly the same thing, because that's their styles. Neither one of them wanted to even clinch. So, but that's not taken away. Like I said, style points for what he did was almost second to none in the UFC. Like that no one has ever done it. No one would even think of doing it, and that's why Armin Petrosyan was caught, because he blocked the first one, but then he got caught of like, oh, now's my chance to go, and then another one comes at him and he gets caught by it. Like I said, style points wise, that's like full on out of the UFC video game, and he actually landed. He said it himself. He only ever threw it once, and he never landed it the first time. And this time when he threw it, and it actually worked, and it worked. So, yeah, style points for sure.
Insane. Baba, from your point of view, bro.
Yeah, this man's living up to that. I didn't think he was previously. I thought his fights were like, oh, okay, decent. But this is like that highlight the real performance, bro. Let's go into the package straight away. But in terms of the knockout, I think it's up there with I think it's Yair Rodriguez, like back elbow type shots.
Style points. Yeah.
This is on him. I'll remember this.
Yeah.
Like, this is like stuff that you see the Showtime kick. It's all like it's once in a lifetime type things. I do agree with PG. Like Max Holloway, that's knockout of the year. I was in that fight, bro, and to see Justin Gaethje crumble, that was mind blowing in itself. In terms of Shara Bullet here, he just like this is a performance to put his name like it matches the hype that's behind him.
Mm.
He's the UFC's guy in terms of like up and comers. He's looking like they put a lot of advertising into him. They're putting a lot of like odds for him to fight on, and he doesn't give the same problems that Chimaev does, where he doesn't fight as often. So he is looking like the guy that they're trying to pivot, like in terms of like the fan base out there in the Middle East. Like, hey, look at this young guy. He opened the card. I think this was the opening fight of the card,
The main card, yeah.
the main card, and that's a good position to be in. And for you to start a night off with something like BG said, out of a video game, like, bro, nobody's gonna forget a fucking double elbow combo, bro.
Yeah, it was spectacular, and star points to the max. So yeah, with that statement, BG, who does he fight next?
Yes, sir. Give him Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, bro. I'd love to see that. Stylistically, it would be a fucked matchup between the two of them. Excuse my French. Because you got this amazing kickboxer, and then you got this ultimate grimy kind of wrestler that just you don't want to have him on top of you. You don't want to have this guy hold you because Anthony Hernandez is going to put you away, dude, and he's going to make you quit because of the how he grinds fighters. So I'd love to see that. And Shadow Bullet, what I've gathered so far in his fights, he's always on the back foot. I don't know. I don't think that's because opponents force him like that. I think he enjoys it. I think he enjoys it in the fight, but he enjoys fighting from the back foot. Like he looks one of the most relaxed guys to do it, and it would be a good fight to watch because that would obviously suck Anthony Hernandez into thinking, all right, let me get this guy up against the cage and we can wrestle now, and that's where Shadow Bullet is actually quite dangerous. He's when you are in close in him, like not only from the outside, he's actually quite dangerous inside as well. So I think that for me makes the most sense for Shadow Bullet. In terms of Michel Pereira, nah, get him out of here. He can leave the UFC. Chris Curtis, maybe because he won his last fight, so maybe he gets Chris Curtis, but I think Shadow Bullet beats Chris Curtis. So at some point next in line, but Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is the guy to go for.
Might be worth a punt there, I think. Baba, from your point of view, bro, what do you think is next for the Bullet?
I would say give him 14 or 15 to just get into that top 15. I wouldn't feed him straight away to Anthony Hernandez, even though I do like that fight. I do think like Hernandez has a bit of experience on him, so I think the Bullet, like BG says, his fighting style is very counter punchy, and I think that realistically that fight would make sense. But I'd say like first give him like Michel Pereira, Chris Curtis, like somebody that you know he's gonna win, and then like build him into like, because that could be a nice fight night headliner. Anthony Hernandez, Shadow Bullet.
Yes.
Can throw him straight away into a headliner because I don't know how he's gonna react, because like I've seen him on the prelims, I've seen him now open the card, and this is the only performance that I can say like, oh, you know what, he looked amazing in this performance. His previous performances, like he still left me wanting a bit more.
Agreed.
Definitely. But yeah, a massive statement made last night by the man, the pirate, as they say, coming for the gold.
Hey.
So any final thoughts on the card, boys? Any honorable mentions you'd like to go into on the prelims?
Let me just pull this open here. We could chat about Chris Barnett if you want.
I think very briefly we can just do a quick run through here.
Jeff Neal.
Again, another injury for the Sanyos. I'm not sure exactly what the nature of the injury was there, but Jeff Neal did defeat Rafael dos Anjos. We did see Chris Barnett. Yeah, it was decent.
I was gonna say that Mateusz Rebecki and what's it?
This was a crazy fight.
Orlobai was also nasty.
This should have been a performance of the night, bro, for both of these men. This was a crazy fight, bro.
Yeah.
Did it get fight of the night?
I did.
because I don't see anything here about because they usually
Close
say
it.
most performance
Close it.
bonus.
Close it, and then you
There
go.
we
Oh, there,
go.
yeah. Okay, yeah, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. These guys put on an absolute war, bro. It was crazy. Yeah, and then also
Yeah,
our
beautiful to watch.
boy Beast Boy, unfortunately.
Even
Sorry, the delay is a bit intense here. But anyway, Chris Barnett unfortunately succumbing to Kennedy Nzechuku. Also another injury. He injured himself jumping too high. A big man just shouldn't fly that high, bruh. So hopefully he
he
learns
was
his lesson
mad.
and he stops catching on his shit before the fights. Anything else here, boys?
I think I think Abus Magamedov and Bruno Ferreira was also a fantastic fight from the beginning till the end. But other than that, Basharat, obviously there's a lot of hype around the guy. He's good. He's got to do a lot more for me to be convinced by him. At the moment, I'm not sold just yet. But I can see why there is hype around the fella.
For sure, Babu. Any final thoughts on the card as a whole? Did it live up to the hype? What are your thoughts here, bro?
If I had to rate the card, I'd give it like a 6. It was above average. But I think the Shara Bullet knockout made it a 6. Otherwise, it would have been a standard 5. There's nothing that blew my ear back. I think Ilia Topuria just dampened my night. Khamzat just dampened my night.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, if as a neutral, I would say like maybe a 7. If you don't have any emotional investment into the crowd favorites, I'd say like a 7.
Yes.
Like decent fights. You got to see.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
You got to see like Ilia Topuria really put a stamp on his title reign and him going forward. Let's see like how he does. But yeah, in terms of my own personal 5, bro. 5.
PG, final thoughts from you, please, bro.
I wanted to hype it up a bit more, but I think Babu hit it on the nail there because not all the performances were that fantastic. There was also poor judges from the prelims. It wasn't that amazing, but there were some good fights, especially I was impressed with the main card. I really enjoyed the main card from the first fight to the last one. So I think 7's a fair assessment from the overall card in terms of like how the fights went, just the whole vibe around it. And then I just wish all the best to the ones who lost.
Nicely done, BG. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you have made it this far, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and all those beautiful things. We are well on our way to 700 subscribers. We'd be very happy if you could help us make that happen. So, Brother Babu, Brother Gaia, thank you both once again for your expertise. Very much appreciated here at the CPS Reports. To all of our viewers, have a wonderful week. We'll be bringing you more content as the week plays out. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a wonderful week, and we are out of here.